While the island's still shaking off the aftermath of the final event, Chapter 6, Season 4 is charging in fast, and the bug invasion has already begun. Even though we managed to free Daigo from the grip of darkness, this is just the beginning. Things are about to spiral, and to help you navigate through this chaos, you want the best guide on Oninoshima, Punked Side. So what actually went down during the finale event from a lore perspective? Here's the breakdown that finally clears it all up. Mask Maker Daigo paid the price for siding with the wrong side. After serving the Dark Presence all season, he got straight up discarded, like a broken mask the second he outlived his usefulness. But the Dark Presence wasn't just sitting back, it went full throttle, tapping into the Epicenter's energy. And now it's confirmed, it got access to a 0-point shard, not a theory anymore. That thing's real. With this power, it created a monstrous creature with massive tentacles, born straight out of the spirit realm, using the power of the shard as fuel. But just when things looked hopeless, Supernova Team showed up ready to throw hands. All season, they've been grinding, ranking up, learning to control their powers. And in that moment, it finally paid off, kinda. They managed to take down one of the giant tentacles. One. And just when you thought that was it, the spirit realm said nah, and dropped a couple more into the mix. Yeah, backup tentacles. Because of course, hope was fading fast. Until Superman swoops in out of nowhere, lasers flying, and he finishes the fight we couldn't. Straight up clutches the event. So yeah, I called it. Superman was the MVP of the finale. And honestly, he didn't just save the squad, he saved the whole island. So Demon's domain now completely wrecked. And guess who's standing in the middle of the ruins? Daigo. But not the corrupted, mask-possessed, reality-ripping version we've been fighting all season. This is old school Daigo. No golden cracks, no kintsugi energy, no attacks on sight. Almost like he just woke up from a nightmare and doesn't fully remember what happened. And here's where it gets interesting. If you listen to the background convos from the locals around Oninoshima, they're not mad at him. They're not calling him a traitor. Instead, they're saying he never really betrayed us, that this whole time he was possessed, taken over by some demon that hijacked his body and used him like a puppet. Now that he's free, he's not the villain anymore. A little broken, probably confused, and maybe in need of our help. It's kinda poetic, honestly. All it took was one punch to the face, and just like that, Daigo's back to being the good guy. And just when it seemed like we won, and peace was finally restored, nope, not even close. The bug invasion on Oninoshima has officially begun. The fluid from the severed tentacle seeped into the ground, creating strange holes that tiny creatures are now crawling out of. And by now, it's no secret. In the next season, we're gonna need some serious reinforcements to handle this infestation. That's where the fighters from Halo and the Power Rangers come in, ready to bring the ultimate bug-squashing power. So here's the full live event in case you missed it.
Alright. The power of the mask is mine to wield. This is my destiny.
Mask Maker, the Tentacles, Halo, Power Rangers. How did we even come to this? Let's break it down. Where did all these superpowers come from? Remember that moment in the trailer? The explosion where a chunk of the Death Star hit the island and triggered a massive shockwave? That wave wasn't random. It was raw energy straight from the spirit realm. Energy from the epicenter. And it might be tied to the Zero Point Shard and Daigo's broken portal. Think back to Chapter 2, Season 5, when the Zero Point nearly shattered. Reality warped so hard, Jones turned into a talking butterfly, and we were swapping skins like Raz and Lara Croft mid-match. This time, same idea, but toned down. No one's turning into Slurpox, but they are waking up with insane powers. Except, well, not all of them. One unfortunate Jonesy variant mutated into a lizard chameleon hybrid. No powers, just bug snacks and long tongue problems. But now it gets real. The Supernova Academy, run by Jones and Hope, is training loopers to control these powers. Think Xavier's School, Fortnite edition. Cute, right? Well, not for long. Data miners are already saying the Academy's about to get wrecked. And guess who's behind it? Yep, Daigo. The very place that was meant to be our secret weapon against the darkness. He's about to tear it to the ground. And if even Superman can't stop him, yeah, you know we're in trouble. I mean, let's be real. Supes is invincible. Even Bass Boost can't scratch him. But Daigo? He's on another level. If you've got any theories why Superman isn't stepping in, drop it in the comments. This could be leading to a full-blown mini-event, especially with that upgraded Daigo model glowing with Kintsugi energy. We've seen this before, like with Doom's cracked mask before his boss fight. So here's the theory. After getting juiced by Spirit Realm power, Daigo's ready to strike, and his first target is the Academy. But don't panic just yet. Even if the school falls, that doesn't mean the new heroes are gone. Some are already teased in the latest trailer, so if you're planning to grab all new supers, make sure to use my creator code. But let's get back to Daigo. The guy's completely lost it. At this point, he's doing more damage than Megalodon and Doom combined. And we've had plenty of signs this was coming. Remember when Night Rose said darkness already tasted Daigo? Yeah, that prophecy just came true. In his obsession to prove himself, he repeated the same mistakes as the Shogun and Rose, and became a puppet. And here's the heartbreaking part. Every time you defeat the corrupted Daigo, he snaps out of it for a moment. He apologizes, begs Kendo and Jade for help. You can literally hear the regret in his voice. He finally realized maybe playing Lone Wolf Sigma wasn't the move. Maybe he should have sided with Jones and Hope from the start. Now that he's consumed Spirit Realm energy, Kintsugi is basically on steroids. You can see it in his gold-lined suit and the mysterious spires feeding off the island. Speaking of which, no one knows why Daigo is draining Oninoshima spirit energy. But if the unknown Shogun was doing the same, it's clearly tied to the Dark Plan. Here are the two leading theories. 1. Daigo's weakening the barrier between our world and the spirit realm to let the darkness in. 2, and this one's wild, he's powering up the massive portal inside the demon domain to unleash his boss, Asmodeus, Prince of Demons. And now for something most players missed, parts of the island are literally starting to rot. Snow's creeping in from the south, and trees near the moss are withering like it's autumn. Some might say it's just a seasonal visual update. But what if it's not? What if Daigo is leeching the life out of Oninoshima, turning it into a wasteland? Hope even calls it out in-game. She says the island's turning darker and stranger. We've seen this before, back when the Cube Queen turned the map into one big flipside. If this theory's right, we'll know soon. Especially if more locations start to decay. And did you catch that cinematic moment where Daigo's portal tries to pierce the zero reality bubble? That barrier's supposed to protect the island from outside threats. It used to cause memory loss and time loops, but now it works differently. Or maybe Charlie just gave up explaining it. Still, that bubble needs the 0 point to exist. It's woven from its energy, so if the 0 point goes, so does our last line of defense. According to the latest leak, and so far, it's been dead on, the next season will revolve around an alien insect invasion. If Daigo breaks the barrier, wave after wave of bugs, creepers, and nightmare fuel could come crawling in. We've seen a glimpse of these creatures in the Batman crossover, realities filled with insectoid monsters swarming the multiverse. And now the big question, is this alien swarm part of the Dark Plan? I'm not sure yet. It's hard to see a direct link between demon lords and bug aliens, but in Fortnite, anything's possible. Or maybe, we're missing the bigger picture. What if the darkness is from Deep Space 2? It's way too early to say if the last reality is involved, but we definitely can't rule it out. I mean, it would explain why the darkness is hoarding epicenter fragments like rare loot drops. But now, let's get to the good stuff I saved for the very end. Remember that strange portal in Utopia City? Turns out, it's tied to a chilling secret about hope. While Jones chills in his office sipping coffee, his partner's been secretly working on her own plan to save the island. And not with some random fish stick or second-rate sidekick. No, she's teamed up with Midas. Yeah, that Midas. And it's not his first rodeo with world-saving projects. But based on the new storyline quests, Midas and Hope are plotting something huge. A secret vault. Their goal? Lock away every single 0-point shard before darkness can get its hands on them. And here's the catch. They're not talking about one shard, they're talking plural, meaning there are more fragments out there than we thought. So far, we've only seen the biggest one, locked away in the spirit realm and claimed by the darkness. A few smaller ones were even reforged into Daigo's blades. But what if there are still pieces scattered around the island that no one's found yet? This could be setting the stage for the next chapter, hopping across different realities, collecting every last 0-point shard. A perfect excuse to revamp the map, without messing up the storyline. But either way, Hope and Midas believe this vault could protect the fragments from any threat, especially from darkness and whatever else is out there hunting them down. Still, this is Midas we're talking about, and after everything he pulled under the loop's nose, would you really trust him with the fate of the multiverse? For now, he's sponsoring the Academy, helping Jones and Hope, and keeping a low profile, so technically we're all on the same team. But I've got a feeling this vault project is hiding way more than they're letting on. And something tells me we're about to find out exactly what. Here's the real kicker, the portal in Utopia City. It's directly linked to the vault. Yeah, that vault, the mythical one, the Imagine Order used to hide the 0-point. We first saw it back during the Chapter 1 Season 8 live event, the moment they let us peek inside. And what did we learn? The vault's core purpose is to protect the 0-point and store every single item that's ever been on the island. But now, pay attention, that portal to the vault dimension might not just be for lore. Data miners found a new feature in the files, codename Science Portal. And yep, it's heavily tied to Utopia City. There's a theory going around that this portal might let players access special weapons, ones that have been sitting inside the vault all this time. And if you've been around since Chapter 1 Season 8, you probably already see where this is going. Back then, we literally voted in real time on which item to bring back. And now, looks like Epic's cooking up a new twist on that mechanic, but through the portal. So, real talk, if this goes down, what weapon are you bringing back? Me? I'd love to see the classic baller again, or maybe the kinetic hammer. Let me know your picks in the comments. But obviously, the vault has way more than just items and the 0-point inside, because deep down there's something or someone else waiting. I'm talking about Singularity. And now it's official. Singularity and Paradigm, not the same person. Epic just confirmed it. So here's the theory. What if we're finally about to meet the real, original Singularity? And she's the one who reveals what actually happened to the epicenter after the Big Bang. She could also help patch up a ton of those storyline holes we've been stuck with since the end of Chapter 3. And remember the whole zero bubble situation? How it can't exist without the 0-point? Well, what if the 0-point didn't get destroyed in the Big Bang? What if it just got relocated into the vault dimension? That would mean the portal in Utopia City might be more than just a doorway. It could be a bridge to the very fabric of all realities. But here's the catch. How did Midas even build that portal? Does it lead to the vault from Chapter 1? Or are we dealing with a brand new one? And if this is a whole new vault, then how did Midas and Hope build it? This isn't your average underground bunker. We're talking hyperdimension level tech here. You'd need access to the 0-point, or at least one of its shards. And as far as we know, neither of them have that. We'll dive into all of this in future videos, so if you're loving the ride, smash that like button.